Hey Shrikeopaths, with Phenomena and Ariadne just on the horizon, I thought it would be a good time to talk about which characters need some assistance to be more usable, and possibly which ones might be power crept in the near future, given the information we currently have. I'm Shrike, like, comment, and subscribe for more gacha content. Let's dive in. So let's take a look at the bottom tier list units. And they all have their uses, I know, but they're at the bottom for a reason. According to the Kaiden, it's Sin, which is no surprise to anyone, and Logos, who was once touted as a must-pull. Oh, how far she's fallen. And it's true, I've stopped using her completely. She just required too much on-field time. Asti is almost always a better choice for a healer. And I would also throw Enki in this category, even though he is seeing a bit more use than usual lately. Ming has never found any use as far as I know. Her gimmick is just too niche and never really applicable. And Hefe has fallen a lot in the ranks since the game released too. We know the devs are open to buffing certain units, but so far they've only done so to 5 stars. Now that doesn't mean they're against doing so to 4 stars, but there just isn't a precedent for it yet. However, if they did, of all the ones I listed, I would most like to see Ming get a buff. Or rather an adjustment to her kit. She's far too niche at the moment. No new characters seem to be doing even close to what she does. So making her stronger would, in my opinion, be worthwhile. Conversely, I don't think Sin should get a buff. Even before Yuli, if someone wanted a Thunder DPS, they just used Licha. Now with Yuli, there are just too many far better options than Sin. I'm afraid that she's doomed to the bottom of the tier list for the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, Enki has been power crept by Jisia, and only people who like him as a character are still using Enki in battles. I think he could be made stronger, but it may not be worthwhile since he will never reach the heights of Jisia, no matter what they give him. As for Hefe, I absolutely love Hefe and I've hated seeing her get less and less play lately. I think she could use a boost to her kit to help keep her relevant so that even when we do get a 5-star that does something similar to what she does, we still have options, we still have a choice to make. But this brings me to Logos, from the top of the hill to the bottom, wallowing in the muck with the sewer rats. She was an attempt at a hybrid healer sub-DPS role, but ended up underperforming in both aspects, as most hybrids do. But I don't think there's anything that can really be done to her kit to make her more usable. They can improve her damage, and it will still underperform the big nukers. They could improve her healing, in which case she would still require too much on-field time. They could reduce her on-field time, and then her role as a sub-DPS would be wasted. I think Logos in particular needs a power creep. And since she's currently our only option besides Asti for a dedicated healer, I think that Ariadne will have healing in her kit. We have gone from limited DPS to limited DPS, to limited sub-DPS, to limited DPS, and next we have another limited DPS. Ariadne will be our first limited support, and I have a feeling it's going to be impactful. I fully expect her to power creep multiple units. Very likely Logos will be one of them, possibly Zero and Ninsar as well. I haven't seen any leaks of her kit, so maybe I'm way off, but I fully expect Ariadne's kit to include massive sustain in the form of heals, a shield, or both, and also a massive damage amplification skill, such as crit damage or crit rate buff. And if indeed she does turn out to be a defensive and offensive supporter, she will change the meta, which is why I'm saving my Vulcan's Grace for her weapon, and only dedicating half of my pulls to try to get Phenomena. If she doesn't come home after that, she doesn't come home. I love the character design, but a power creep to Shamash isn't really something we needed. And let's not ignore the top of the tier list. I actually think Yuli could do with a boost. She was very hyped and then disappointed many people with her lackluster damage at P0. Many regretted pulling for her. I think just a damage boost for her would do wonders. Florence, I believe, has hit her peak. She was our first limited unit, so it stands to reason she would fade out of use eventually. Typically a character is power crept at the same time their rerun banner comes, as a way to trick the player into pulling for them before they become unusable. So when we hear about Florence's rerun banner approaching, I would expect a new limited fire DPS to be announced not long after. And if they're really sneaky, they'll wait for her rerun to finish before announcing it, which is why I never pull on reruns, ever. But that's about it. Those are my thoughts on who deserves a buff and who will instead probably just be power crept and forgotten. Let me know in the comments what characters you'd like to get a buff. And with that being said, I'm gonna fly. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.